the Valley. We've got another winner, Kevin, on the air with us tonight or today, this morning, whatever it is. It still feels like the night because I haven't gone to sleep yet. And that's Coach Ramiro Leal of the Donna Redskins. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm missing my guy Tony, but it's a different situation. Nothing against you, Kevin. I just miss Tony. But hey, you had a great game last night.
Kids did have a good game last night.
It looked like right away I was watching the scores come in, and Porter, they've got a great running game, but you guys seem to stop the running game and then take advantage of that, and Bowen and Doherty just went crazy.
Well, yeah, going into the game, I knew their strategy probably was going to be the ball control. I knew there were going to be a limited amount of touches if they started controlling the clock. That was my biggest concern going in because that offensive line is a really big offensive line, and it's simple but effective. They, ground and pound, and they're getting 4 yards a pop, and then we knew if they continued to do that, they were going to milk the clock. So, going in, they moved it real successful. First quarter was 7-7, and we'd only touched the ball, like I'd say, like 5 or 6 times because we scored in 3 plays in the first time we touched the ball, and then they just took it and just started milking and milking and milking. I said, "Oh man, it's going to be a long night." But it got to a point where the defense was bending but not breaking. They would get their yards, but they weren't scoring. And we had a big fourth down interception for a touchdown that kind of changed the momentum of the game going into the half, 21-7. But then let me tell you, Porter is a good team. They're well coached, and we just happy to come out with a big victory last night.
Did those 2 losses at the beginning of the year, because you had 2 really tough losses, did those losses at the beginning of the year prepare this team? I mean, did it give it that adversity that you kind of needed to weather the storm?
I think really, I go back at the very beginning. I'm not going to lie to you. After we were playing, getting ready to play Hannah, I said, did I do the right thing playing these tough teams? I mean, we might be going 0-3. Sometimes you go in 3, kids start doubting. Are we doing the right thing? We're losing 3 games, and we're doing it. So you start playing. I guess you start playing with your mind. But I think no doubt that was the best thing we could have done for these kids. I think that with that type of caliber of teams that we played, now that teams are playing, nothing to take away from the teams we're playing. I think it teaches these kids to stay, humble and hungry because, I go back and refer to those games that we played and say, look, remember when you were like 1-2 and you barely won in the last minute against Hannah, possibly going 0-3, you don't want to go back to that. You got to stay hungry and keep everybody humble and make sure that we go out there, with the same type of enthusiasm and want to as you did when we played the Southwest and played at pace, because we're hungry. We were hungry for a win. We didn't have a winning record, and I think that's a big key. I think sometimes a loss is almost as good as a win sometimes, depending on the situation. I think those 2 losses, made us grow up and understand that we were a good team. But in order to get to the caliber of team we wanted to be, we're going to have to sacrifice a little bit more and make a little bit better effort.
So how do you guys stay on track, though? Because, you've had big games. You had the Mercedes game, but Ed Chelsea is your last game, and you've got Donna North this week. How do you guys stay on track? I mean, stay focused?
Well, I think that's the biggest thing is that, as a head coach, that's the biggest thing you have to do with kids is that keeping them focused. You're dealing with a 15, 16, 17-year-old kids as it is. Keeping them focused practice is hard enough. But I think the big intangible is that, they got to understand the concept of, all the games count the same. A win and a loss, whether it's a last-place team or first-place team, it's a win and a loss. And then we played in big games like the Westfield game, the huge game, sold out crowd, and the Mercedes sold out crowd. So that experience has given us, I think, handle the pressure of a big game. It really helps out when you're being able to play big games. But they understand the concept of the big game, yeah, but the win and loss is going to mean the same thing as far as the other wins and losses we have. And just take one game at a time, not to get, looking down the road. Because if you start looking down the road, you're going to forget where we're at right now. And the most important game that counts is the one you're playing on that week.
So, look, we had Coach Ron Adami on a few minutes ago, and, he looks at the game right in front of him, that week's game. But do you guys look at the playoff situations? I mean, you were probably going to get first seed.
We already looked at the playoff situation, the implications of playoff. I mean, we're going to be playing, either the winner or the loser of Betts and Vela. It's the way it looks right now because we'll be seeded number 1 in the big school here in our district. So we'll play probably the loser, I'm assuming, between Betts and Vela. The way it's shaping up, that's what it's going to be, the same way it was last year. But like I say, I got to take one game at a time. There's a lot of things that happen between here and there. I've learned in certain situations. Going up a couple of years ago, we were about the same way. We were about, I think, 7-1, and we had lost our starting quarterback or our second-team quarterback. And going into the last game, we lost our backup quarterback. We ended up playing Bill Rio with our third-team quarterback, the playoff game. So, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change, give or take. You don't want to look, too far further ahead. Me as a coach, maybe I'll look a little bit in it, but I want to keep the kids focused for the games they're playing right now. We just want to continue what we're doing and get better at what we do.
Coach Ramiro Leal joining us on the huddle right now, coach of the Donna Redskins. Kevin's got a question for you.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Hey, I think everybody, including myself, we get caught in the Amani Bowen and the Edward Doherty trap, But and you mentioned your defense had a pick six. They've been playing some pretty good football lately, so I think not enough has been said about your defense. How good are they?
Let me tell you. I think that's one thing that said. Every time I get reports, and they want to talk about Monty Bowen, and they want to talk about Doherty and Paul Guetta and offensive lines. But let me tell you, the defense has really stepped it up. If we start looking at stats on the line, they're not giving up a lot of points. We're probably giving close to 10 points a game in our district. They've been really, really, really stepping it up as improving on a week by week basis. The first game we played, we gave up 49 points, and we were like, wow, we're starting to second think, do we have the people in the right positions? Is it a personnel issue? Is it a scheme issue? You start wondering, are we doing the right thing, putting the kids in the right positions? Thinking about it after looking at evaluating my coaches, it's like, just some growing pains, basically. These some younger kids there that hadn't not played there, and we're gonna have to go through the growing pains. But now they're picking up the schematics of the defense, and they're lining up properly, and they're making the right calls, and you're just seeing the growth. When you start seeing growth, the confidence starts building. When the confidence starts building, then everything starts falling in place. And let me tell you, the defense has played really great last night. And that was a really good forward team as far as running the ball. And to keep them 7 points was a big victory just in itself.
Yeah, kind of echoing what Jake said earlier. You have Donna North up next, and then you have the big one in Ed Calchelso. But in some games, is this somewhat of a trap game for y'all? Because I've seen Donna North, and they've kind of hung with some folks. I saw them play against Ed Calchelso. That was a 10-7 ball game for quite a while in that first half. So what are y'all going to do to prepare and kind of just not worry about Ed Couch and all focus on Donna North?
Yeah, we got to focus on Donna North. First of all, it's the intercity. It's our rivals. The kids are going to be fired up for that game. I think even Ed Couch also, we're going to take it as one game at a time. As that say, we take care of Donna North. We'll be playing, of course, for a district championship, all out district championship. Winning with Donna North will at least give us a co-district championship. So, that was our biggest intention as the season started. And Donna North ain't bad. Let me tell you, I know they've been tough games. They get forward to the very end of 4 overtime. They gave Mercedes. They were really tight in the half. They give everybody a real tight game. And when you play games between the inner cities, records don't really count, man. They got nothing to lose, and they're going to come out, hot, ready to play. And we just got to make sure that we do what we do and make sure that we, maintain the hunger, for a district championship and go out and play on Friday.
Now, if you do win a district title, what's it going to be like for you to walk around Donna? Will you have to sign autographs? Will you get free food? How does that work?
Let me tell you, if you know how the city of Donna works, man, let me tell you, when you're winning, it's great. And if you're not winning, don't go eat anywhere in Donna. It's going to be one of those, it's a love-hate type thing. But really, everything, it's not just me. It's my coaching staff has done an exceptional job, and the kids have done a good job buying into the program. So I think it's all in all, it's not just about me. It's about everybody else. The kids, they wear that maroon and gold proud no matter what. And it's just a really good environment to coach here. It's a lot of tradition. And I might get a free hamburger winning this championship, but I'll wait till we win it before I go claim the free hamburger.
Hey, I don't think people give you enough credit, though, because, you had, 2 of the best weapons that any team could really have in Bowen and Doherty. And a lot of people would have a hard time making it work, but you guys have made it work this year.
I think the biggest thing but I preach to our team, and you got to know your role. If you're gonna, a lot of people have different philosophies, and one of my biggest things is I will not be putting their kids' last names in the back of the jersey. A lot of people say, well, it's not. I've got people asking, why don't you put it? It's like, well, I think that I always tell the kid, look, if this is about a team concept. The only thing we're going to put in a jersey is going to be your school name, or we're going to put Redskins or something, because you got to understand it's a team concept. We do whatever's best for the team because we win and lose as a team. If you want to be an individual, then you need to go play an individual sport. And if you want your last name put on the back, draw attention to you, let me tell you, if you're good and you play well, they'll know you by your number. But, and I try to get that whole concept, whatever's best for the team. And I think that's, we have a bunch of kids that have bought into that. And with Doherty and Monty, they're the best of friends. And they're each one's biggest supporter. And I think that with that, it just feeds off to everybody else. And everybody does the same thing. And that's why we win. I don't think it's so much, Yeah, it's great to have exceptional talent, but sometimes when you have exceptional talent, you get a little greedy, and some kids, want more, and then, you get parents saying their kids should play a little bit more here or there. But as long as the kids know that the mentality is that what's best for the team, it really helps the whole team out.
What? You have helicopter parents in Donna?
Oh my God, dude! I'm telling you, I'm sure everybody has their share of parents everywhere, but for the most part, man, the parents have been very supportive. All the parents, we try to get everybody in the mix, but like I said, we can only play so many kids at certain times, but everybody has to contribute. I always tell the guys that don't get to play too much, your job of contributing is to get the guys that are first teamers, make them better. You making them better, it's like your contribution to the team. And people might not see it, but, you're the ones making them better at practice. So you have just as big a role as the other guys do, because, if they don't get better at practice, they're going to get better in the game. The team doesn't do good. And, we have a lot of kids that, for this year, because there's a lot of seniors that don't get that much playing time, but they're every day at practice. They know their role, and they share in the glory when we win, and they share, when we lose, they share the heartache. But, it's a really good team concept, and I'm real proud of these group of kids right now.
No, that's awesome. You guys are 5-0 in district, and it looks like you're on your way. Bearing in mind you get these last 2 wins, but you're for a district championship, and that's got to feel good for you.
Yeah, it does. We haven't had a district championship since 2007 when I was here as a coordinator with Coach Bueno. It's been a while, and it's we've been striving to get to there. My first year here, we got third place. Last year we got second place, and hopefully this year we come up with a district championship. So we just got to keep on staying humble, staying hungry. Because in football you never know what can happen. We start getting a little big headed. I tell them, you start getting big headed, that's when things start going bad. But I like where we stand right now. I wouldn't want it. Who else wouldn't want to go 5-0 in district with 2 games to play? So it should be pretty good for these last 2 games.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you being on the show. Coach Ramiro Leal of the Donna Redskins, and best of luck the next 2 weeks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Honestly, I've known him since he started. He's one of the best guys. I said that about Ron Adame, but I sound like I'm PC. No, I do mean it. If I don't say they're a good guy afterwards, it doesn't mean they're not. But he really is a nice guy. He's invited me out there. I was looking online for pictures of him to run right now, and I'm like, oh, that's the shirt he gave me. He's wearing a hammer strength shirt. On him, it looks like he could be a hammer strength guy, a lifter. On me, it looks like I'm Tom Hanks from Philadelphia trying to do push-ups. But no, he's one of the best guys out there.
No, absolutely. And I've been to a couple of their games, and I've been to a couple of their practices. And I think that's where I'm impressed the most, because they're having fun. The kids are out there, they're doing their thing, and Billman, is out there leading the offensive line, Bowen and company. But what the thing that I like the most is that they're having fun, but at the same time, once the whistle blows and Coach Leal or any other coaches talk, it's all eyes and it's all ears.
I'm not going to talk about what kind of car he has, but he has a really nice car. He had it as an OC, I believe, but he's got a really nice car. I think if he wins the district title, Donna should look at buying him that same car, just in a newer model. I'm not going to say what kind of car it is, but I would like to have the old one, of course. But it would be good with 6 kids. I tell you.
I've never